G'day, Aussie Mark here, and for today we'd have a quick look at a light I got a little while back. It's a 4Sevens Quark AA². I had bought a couple of Pre-on 2s, which I've had a really good run with out of 4Sevens, and I decided I wanted something a little bit bigger for in the car and also for camping, that type of use, a AA battery powered one, and decided on this. This is the S2 Edition, which I think is no longer available. I think they're now up to an S3, plus there's a whole range of other varieties at 4Sevens which basically confuse the hell out of me and I can never keep track of it. But anyway, I think they're all reasonably similar as far as operation and things go. The light outputs and things may vary, and of course there's the CR123 powered ones, but we'll talk about this one. The reason I like the AA one is basically because I can get batteries for them anywhere. CR123 is not quite the case. It's a really well constructed light, this thing. You can see there it's nice beautiful knurling on the sides there, nice and grippy, very well manufactured. Pocket clip there, with my only criticism would be nice that pocket clip was possibly sort of bent back and come up to this section so it'll be deep carry in your pocket. I'm not overly concerned because I don't pocket carry this particular light. I pocket carry my Pre-on 2 as an EDC light. Size of it, we'll just run the tape over it just to give you guys a quick look. It's just under 6 inches in length. Diameter is probably around 3/4 of an inch. Weight on it, I did weigh it before, it came in at 3.8 ounces, that's with 2 batteries inside of it, which is 109 grams for those of us in the metric system. We'll just have a quick look at the box it came in. 4Sevens always present their products really nicely, and this was no exception. That's the box there, the front of it. It opens up like so. Obviously I've already got the light out of it. There's a bit of a blurb there about them and the features. On the back it's got some information for us. I think they get a bit carried away from themselves there in paragraph 1. I like this bit. It's apparently got enough illumination to challenge the sun itself. It's a great light, but I'm not sure it's quite that good. Tells you what comes in the box here. You've got obviously the 4Sevens flashlight with the integrated clip, i.e. the pocket clip. It's got a lanyard, a hand grip, a holster, instruction manual, and a couple of AA batteries. So they actually do come with batteries. We'll just dig in there and I'll show you the accessories that it comes with. There's your plastic tray. In the back there, if we can just get it out of the box, is the derivative instruction manual, which we'll refer to in a minute. So we open this up. First thing we've got here, and this actually came in the pouch or holster, is the lanyard. It's got a little keyring there on the end, which I would think you would mount through that little hole on there, and then that lanyard would be suitable to hang the torch around your neck. I can't see me using that, but it's good to have the options. Comes also with, very good to have these couple of spare O-rings, which is excellent. I'll do this bit first. This is the hand grip. I was a bit confused by what this was all about, but what happens is you slip one end of it over the torch like that, the other end down over like that, and the idea is that you can then increase your grip on the flashlight. So I think if you're working in maybe a wet environment, that type of thing, that'll be quite a useful idea. The other way you could possibly use it, I suppose, is if you wanted to be semi-hands-free, you could probably kind of mount it on the back of your hand like that. That way you could still actually carry or grip stuff with that hand. Again, probably not something that I can see me using, but I don't mind getting these things in the kit because you never know. The one thing that I do plan to use, as I say, this particular light will be riding around in the glove box of the car and it'll be rattling around, so prevent it from bouncing around and getting too scratched up and all that sort of thing just in storage. I will use this little holster, and also if I need to do anything like belt mount it when I'm wandering around away from the car, I've got that option. So you've got a belt loop there, little D-ring on the top, elastic sides. I don't know what material this is, Cordura. It feels like it probably is Cordura, but it feels very solid and well constructed. Velcro closure. 4Sevens logo on there, so the pouch is very good. I really like that a lot. Back to the light. Now, I'm going to refer to the instruction manual because it's going to be easier to explain how all these things work if you guys just have a look at it. So that's the instructions. Now if you want to have a full read of these, you can always pause of course, but down the bottom is the important part in bold there, and it talks about the 2 modes of this thing. The bezel is up the front of the light, of course, and if you have the bezel loosened, the first thing you get when you click the light on is moonlight, and then if you soft click it, you'll go through to low, medium, high, SOS mode, which is ... and then the final mode you'll get to is beacon. If you have the bezel tightened at the front of the light, you get two modes. It comes on immediately on maximum, and then if you soft click the button at the back of the light, it'll go straight to strobe. And as they say down the bottom there, once the light's been turned off for a minimum of 3 seconds, it reverts back to the first level of output in the sequence. So if, for example, we had the light on Lucent Bezel and I had it on medium, and I turn the light off, excuse me, come back a minute later to use the light, it'll switch on in the moonlight mode. So that's how it all works. So that's your bezel up the front, and as you can see, clockwise as you look at it, tightens it up. So if we have it tightened there, that'll come straight onto max. And if we loosen it, it goes straight back. It was supposedly supposed to go to strobe, but it didn't. That's interesting. It has now. Maybe I messed the settings up on that. That's better. I don't know why I did that. Sometimes I think when I switch between one mode and the other by on the bezel, it gets a little bit confused, much like my good self. So that's tightened up now. We'll turn it on. Comes straight on to the maximum. And if I soft tap that little button at the end, we get strobe mode. Now if I turn it off and just loosen the bezel a little bit, I'll turn it on. Very hard to see anything, but it is on. That's moonlight mode. So we'll soft click it again. Comes up to low, medium. We're at high now. Of course, that's the SOS mode. I'll let it run a complete cycle on that. If I soft click it again, that's our beacon mode, which is different to the strobe. So what I'm going to do is I'll flick the lights out here and we'll just have a little bit of an example of the lighting. These tend not to work particularly well, but we'll have a bit of a crack at it and see how we go. Okay, so that's on high mode. So I've tightened the bezel down just to get that straight on high. What I'll do is I'll take the camera off the tripod, or at least I'll try to. We'll go back and have a bit of a look from back here. So of course we're inside, that's high mode. If I soft click it, we'll get strobe mode, which I'm not going to leave on because that's going to freak everybody out, including me. Loosened off the bezel, click the light on, and you can't see much. That's moonlight mode. We'll come back up to the bench here, and as you can see, very, very low light, but quite useful if you're just looking for something I want to be very subtle. If we come back up, and again I'll stay looking at the instructions, come back a little bit, we'll go to low mode, much better. And also for room use, a little bit dim, but it's usable. We'll come back up to medium, and that's quite good. Decent spread of light, not too much of a hot spot. Up to high, and we've got some serious illumination going there now. We'll soft click it again. That's just our SOS, and of course our beacon. Just run through those modes again, and that's your high mode there. So it's really very, very good. Lots and lots of light. Good, clean, bright light. Alright, so I'll put this back on the tripod, back in a moment. Okay, so just to finish up, we'll just show you the specifications in the brochure here. See the dimensions, the weight listed at 2.2 ounces as mentioned. With the batteries in, you're looking at 3.8 ounces. Of course, 2 AA batteries. I'm not going to go through all that, but again, if you want to pause that, that's the output in lumens and also the runtime and all those various modes. So Moonlight runs for, wow, 1277 hours. It's quite amazing. So in conclusion, I really like this light a lot. It's a little bit beefier certainly than the Preon 2, which is what I usually see. I'll just throw that in for comparison's sake for size there. So you can see it's a little bit longer, certainly a lot thicker. The Preon 2 of course isn't as bright or anything, but it's a lot easier to carry. So for day-to-day going to work use, this is still the one I carry. But for weekends, outdoor use, any sort of areas where I need more light, really, really impressed with this light. As mentioned, this particular version is no longer available, but other versions are, and I really like the fact that 4Sevens have come out with AA power on these. For me, that's an essential thing. And if you're looking for a really good light, AA power, heavy duty, lots of modes, you couldn't go too far wrong buying one of these things. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.